Welcome back to another video. So today I will be doing dynamics of markets, and for the sake of this video I will not be doing graphs. I will do graphs in the next video, but the graphs are similar or the same to the ones that we do in grade 11. So you can check out dynamics of markets grade 11, curves. Yes, I did those curves, but I'll also in today's video will focus on the theory side of dynamics of markets. So I'll be doing the perfect market and the imperfect market. So without wasting any more of your time, guys, let's get right into it. The most important thing with economics, just like business studies, you need to understand concepts, because when you know concepts, you are able to answer true or false questions, match questions, one word questions, and when you are given options, to be able to know which option best suit an explanation that you are given. So it's very important, guys, that you know your concepts in economics. Download a study guide. Just go on Google and just say economic study guide, and you'll get PDF study guides, especially from Via Africa. They have great study guides, so go and check that out so that you can check out your concepts. So in today's topics, it's very important that you know market structure, what is a perfect competition, the price taker, collusion, and homogeneous. So it's very, very important that you know this 5 concepts, and the description is also written there on the right hand side. All right, so we're going to start with characteristics and conditions of perfect market. So when we say somebody is a boy or a girl, there are certain characteristics or conditions which we base our conclusion on. Then we'll look maybe on the hair, the breasts, maybe intimate areas and stuff like that, and things that distinguish between a masculine and a femininity energy between men and women, in order for us to know whether this figure that's standing in front of us is a male figure or a female figure. So with regards to markets, it's the same thing. There are features, conditions which qualifies a certain market when we look at it and find out how it operates and its conditions, to classify this as either a perfect competition or a imperfect competition. So that is exactly what we're going to do. You have to know these characteristics or conditions by heart, because they can pop up as an essay question on your exams. And when you are given an essay questions with regards to market, in your introduction, guys, you should know how to define a market. A market is a place where buyers and sellers meet. You should be able to define what is a perfect competition. You should be able to define what is an imperfect competition. So that is your 3 marks in your essay question introduction before you go to the body. In the body, you answer exactly what you were told when they give you that rubric on how you're going to be marked, and how many marks are for each topic, what you need to know. That is what you will focus on there. You will write the body exactly as it has been instructed. So a market structure takes into account various factors that determine how buyers and sellers interact in a market. So the first characteristics, many buyers. The first thing, if there are many buyers in that market, then it's a perfect competition, right? An individual cannot influence the price, right? There are many buyers, just like in when we have people farming. In a farm, there are just different buyers. There's a lot of people there selling tomato, onions, and whatever vegetable or fruit. Like, everybody can just plant and sell, and there are many buyers. People who are buying them are a lot. People who are selling there are also a lot. There is no preferential treatments, so buyers can buy from whoever they want, right? No collusion. As you have seen, the key concepts, collusion is 2 people deciding, okay, we're going to charge high prices, we're going to agree with each other and consumers are going to pay high for this price. So there's nothing like that. In the farming industry, prices are of every vegetable is broadcasted daily. When you can just Google it, it's there. You know how much is the price of lettuce today, the price of lettuce tomorrow, how much it was last week. So they take that market price. There's freedom of entry and exit. You can enter the market and exit the market as you like. You can come and be a seller and decide, oh, I'm done selling, I don't want to do this business anymore, and just leave with no penalties, nothing. And then there's perfect knowledge. Both buyers and sellers have full knowledge of all the current market conditions. So nothing is hidden under the sun in that market. And then nature of products. Buyers can distinguish whether the products are from which seller. Buyers cannot distinguish, which product are from which seller because they're exactly identical. Okay, so you buy lettuce from this store and buy it from store B, you can't distinguish because they are the same. And there's no government intervention. It is an unregulated market because the government does not interfere in the market. Yes, the government cannot come and say, oh, this is going to happen, this is what's going to happen. No. And communication is reliable and effective, and this makes access to the market possible. So there is communication. You're able to ask questions and know what is happening. Mobility of factors of production. Factors of production such as labor, capital, and entrepreneurship can easily move from one geographical area to the next. So it's easy to transport whatever that is being sold in this market. This is an ideal market. And effective transport and communication. So there is transportation, and you have to know the importance of having transport in the economy, right? You need to know that a question like that can pop up. And effective transport and communication. So the communication in this competition is very reliable. There's and communication and effective transport and communication makes this makes the access to the market possible because there's transportation and you can communicate. Profits, right? The perfect competitor can only make economic profit. So economic profit in the short run, economic profit is where your income exceeds your expenses, and then in the long run they can make economic profits. They can make normal profits, and normal profits is where we break even, where cost equals revenue. So price determination. The market industry determines the price for the individual firm. The firm are price takers and have horizontal demand curve. Efficiency. So efficiency, there's efficiency in this market. There's productive efficiency and there's allocative efficiency. So the productive efficiency is that the perfect competitor produces at the lowest cost over the long run. So it can be relatively very cheap to produce in this market in the long run. So productive efficiency is there. And then allocative efficiency, it reaches when the quantity and type of goods and services produced are the best for all the consumers. So they can get the absolutely best products in this market. So they are able to allocate their resources well. You can, as a firm, you are able to allocate your resources well so that you can get the greatest output possible. Here is a quick activity which you can do, and you can just pause this video, do this activity, and I will pop the answers on screen. And this is the solution to that question. Hope you got it right. Let's do also activity 3. Let's say evaluate the importance of transport in the economy. You can pause the video, do that one, and I will show the answers. And this is the answer to activity 3, evaluate the importance of transport in the economy. These are the key concepts you have to know with regards to your curves, but we'll not be doing this in this video. We'll do it in the next one. And now we will be doing topic 4, dynamics of markets in perfect markets. So when we're talking about imperfect markets, we're talking about a market that all the conditions of a perfect market do not exist. In an imperfect market, there's no many buyers and sellers. There's there's restrictions to entry. So everything is the imperfect market is the opposite of perfect markets. Now you need to know key concepts, grade 12s. Monopoly, oligopoly, monopolistic competition are the three competitions or market conditions we have under imperfect market, and you need to know what they are called. So you need to know artificial monopoly, natural monopoly, legal monopoly, patent, cartel collusion, tactic collusion, overt collusion, and hybrid market. So you have to know all those things. Now we'll look at imperfect market explanation. So economists group market in which competition is limited into three broad structure. Competition is limited in this markets. Monopoly. This is a description of a monopoly. A monopoly is a one-man show, honey. No competition, zero. So like Eskom. Eskom in South Africa is not competing with any other type of a business. So it's only the only supplier in that market, while there may be many sellers, but the firm, the supplier in the monopolistic competition is one. So think about a business which has monopolized, does not have competition, has restriction. You cannot just enter into that market easily. Like the government has even protected this monopoly to exist. So Eskom is a great example. It is not easy for other business to enter the monopoly market because of strict barriers to entry. It's a unique products are sold in this market since there are no close substitute. No close substitute. You cannot substitute electricity by something else. There are no close substitute. You cannot get another form of electricity that is being produced by Eskom. You would rather go to solar, and solar is not a substitute for Eskom, for the solar industry. It's not. It's totally two different things. So remember, when I say this is how you identify a girl and a boy, this is how we're going to identify monopoly. The market power. Who has the market power? Price makers control over price. Who? The demand curve. Its demand curve is not a horizontal line. A monopoly is confronted with a normal market demand curve which slopes downwards from left to right. Any point on the monopolistic demand curve is an indication of the quantity of the product that can be sold and the price at which it will trade. So we have market power. It is pure form of monopoly, means the monopolistic is the only firm in the market. It has power. Price maker, the market power enables the monopoly to sell its own price. So the monopoly can dictate its prices, and there's barriers to entry. Here you can see the numerous blockades such as government and legal restrictions and high startup cost, and also patent. Patent is registering your idea so that nobody else steals it. And here also restrictions, sunk costs, access to scarce resources, and technology superiority. And we also talk about profit. Market power and high prices enable the monopoly to make economic profit in both short and long term. So monopoly, a business operating as a monopoly will always make economic profit, never normal profit. And economies of scales, the more size of large business gives it a cost advantage over smaller rivals. This will make it impossible for small businesses to compete. Highly impossible. So information monopoly has perfect information about the market. However, new firms that wish to enter the market will not have the same information available for them. So they hoard information and just hold it for themselves, and they're not releasing that information out for people who want to enter the market. So these are the type of monopoly. High development costs prevent others from entering the market, and therefore the government supplies the product. Electricity in South Africa is provided by the government enterprise Eskom. And then artificial monopoly, here the barriers to entry are not economic in nature. An example of a barrier is a patent. A patent is a legal and exclusive right to manufacture a product. So you can have exclusive right, like no one can manufacture this product, only I can. You have the money. You need a lot of money to do that. It costs billions of rand and maintain power stations, and therefore there are no other suppliers. and the market is big enough for competitors to do business, yet cannot operate due to legal that may be taken. So they may be arrested. So the demand curve of a the firm uses its market power to set the prices and are called price takers. The monopolistic faces a normal market demand, which is a slope downwards from left to right. Now, this is a just something to make you think about. So, is it possible? Does the monopolistic always make a profit? Is it possible for the monopolistic to make a loss as well? The monopolistic make a loss if total cost is more than average revenue. Remember, average revenue is the price at which the price is selling. Now, if the cost is more than revenue, the company will make a loss. We'll do graphs in the next video. Now, let's do a comparison between monopoly and perfect competition. The comparison is done through price, output, competition, profit, and demand. So here we are. Prices are higher because a monopoly is a price maker. Prices are lower because there are many buyers and sellers in a perfect competition. So it is a comparison between a monopoly and a perfect competition. You need to know this, that prices are higher in a monopoly, prices are lower in perfect competition. Output is less under monopoly. There is more output. Monopoly can only produce this much because there are not so many people producing that product. But with perfect competition, a lot of people are producing, so output is high. There's no competition in monopoly, but in perfect competition, the visual firm use price competition in order to attract customers. There is price competition. Profit, monopoly make economic profit, while perfect competition make economic profit only in the short run and normal profit in the long run. Demand, in the monopoly, the demand curve is down, sloping left, right. But in the perfect market, the demand curve for perfect market is horizontal. Okay, you can pause this video and do this activity 1.1 to see if you understood. So here are the answers to the question that I had just given you. You can mark yourself. Well done if you got them all right. Now we will talk about oligopoly. An oligopoly consists of a small group of firms that supply the market. Small groups of firms. Remember, example of oligopoly are cell phone service providers. They are small groups, and banks. Small groups, firms that supply the market. There is limited competition because there are just few suppliers. When two large firms compete, the market structure is called duopoly. So when there are two big companies that compete against each other, we have a duopoly. So characteristics of a oligopoly: we look at the number of business in the industry. There are few but large businesses like Vodacom, MTN, Celsi in the cell phone industry. The big four banks SA also form oligopoly: Standard Bank, Nedbank, FNB, and ABSA. Those are the four big banks in the country. Nature of the product: the product may be identical or differentiated. The product can be exactly the same, or there's just little differentiation between the companies rendering that service. Freedom of entry and exit: entry is difficult as there are barriers of high startup cost. It's very, very expensive to start a bank or a cell phone company or telecommunication company. Very, very expensive. So people cannot just enter as they like or as they wish. Decision making: there is a lot of interdependence between the different firms. The decision taken by one firm are influenced by the decision of another firm. Each firm is aware of others' action. If one firm introduces a new marketing strategy, all the other competitors become aware and do the same. So they influence each other like that. Control over price: the oligopolistics have control over the price, but not as much as the monopoly. However, he must consider the reaction of other firms. So if your prices are just too high, it's not going to work. Capitec changed the banking industry significantly by introducing low banking costs, like 5 rand 4 rand at some point it started. So that shifted a whole lot. So they influence other banks to also have 5 rand personal bank accounts. Non-price competition. Oligopolies do not use the price when they compete with each other. They use non-price competitive strategies such as aggressive advertising, branding, product differentiation, product loyalty, good service, and extended business hour or door-to-door deliveries, even online. Others have such a great online that you don't even have to go to the bank. Do everything from the comfort of your home. That's how they push how to get many clients. So they never use price. Value is what they intended to sell. So collusion. Oligopolists are characterized by the act of collusion, so they can collude, those ones. Since there are few firms in the industry, it is easy for them to collude. They come together and form agreements to cooperate with each other and raise prices or restrict production to influence the price. There are two forms of collusion: overt collusion, explicit collusion, and tactic collusion, which is implicit collusion. Overt collusion is open collusion, which can be seen by everybody. So that's like, sorry, I have told you, you need to know this keys as I have said in the beginning. So you need to read more on that. I'm not gonna go more on that now. So we're talking about the demand curve of a monopolistic. Unlike in the case of perfect competition, monopoly it is impossible to determine the demand curve facing the oligopolist. The quality of goods of oligopolist product is not determined by the consumer demand only. The oligopolist must also consider the actions of other producers. So it's very difficult to draw their demand curve. So this is the demand curve for oligopolists. And I will be discussing these points in the next video. And here again is a comparison between oligopoly and perfect competition. So which means when you have an essay question, you can be asked to compare monopoly against perfect competition, oligopoly against perfect competition. So you have to know price, output, competition, profit, and demand. And here is an activity that you can do, and I will pop up the answers. And here we say, why is it give two type of collusion? Who got a better coffee? Which market structure is shown by the above cartoon? You can answer those questions as well. Here is the solution to 2.1. Give one word. And here is the solution again. Yeah, for that activity that you just did. Now we are on the third imperfect market, monopolistic competition. Now, price. The firm has little control over price in the monopolistic competition. Output. There is more output because there are many sellers. The output by each firm increase the market output. Competition differentiate product to create opportunities for non-price competition. So they compete with like advertising as well. Profit, it can make economic profit in the short term but normal in the long term. Demand, the demand curve is downward sloping from left to right. Nature of product, the product are differentiated, products are similar but not identical. And then entry into the market is easy. Monopolistic competition display a high bird structure. Information for buyers and sellers is incomplete. Collusion is not possible under monopolistic competition. So there's non-price competition. Monopolistic competition is not based on price but rather on factors relating to the product's uniqueness. We have like toothpaste industries, soap industries, and all that. So they're part of monopolistic market. We go for the better benefits, honey. Skincare, we go for who has the greatest ingredients, like the most trending ingredients, the latest one, like when you like, oh, this one has salicylic acid or niacinamide or hyaluronic acid all those. If you're into skincare, that's what you look for. Type of non-price competition, product differentiation. Non-price competition, if we don't compete with price, we can compete with price. Product differentiation, we just make our products slightly different from yours. We can advertise more, or we can have loyalty schemes. If you buy, you get what for free. So determination of price and output in the short run, this is what determine the price here in the monopolistic competition. And there is a curve, and then there is the explanation. You can write that down and see what means what curves in the next video. And then you have activity 3 that you can do quickly. Pause the video, do this, and mark yourself. And then here again, this is the activity. There's the solution. Thank you if you got it right. And this can be your SA questions. And you can be asked, discuss in detail an oligopoly as a market structure, evaluate the impact of imperfect competition on consumers. So you can answer this. You just do the characteristics. When they say discuss a certain market in detail, you do a characteristics of oligopoly and write them out as a market structure, and say how the impact of imperfect market evaluate the impact of imperfect competition on consumers. What is it? What is the impact of imperfect competition on consumers? Your own thoughts. What do you think? That's what you can write there, because you know the conditions and you know what is imperfect. What do you think it has? You can, if they say that, you can reference monopoly, oligopoly, and monopolistic competition. And then this one, question 3, say, with the aid of a graph, discuss how economic profit and economic loss is determined in the monopoly competition. So guys, in the essay questions, you have 2. The other one will require graphs, and the other one will just require you to just explain. If you can explain. You don't have to do graphs when you don't understand them. So this is a answer to that oligopoly question. This is how you can write your essay. You see, this is how you can, this is now it, the negative impact. This is your how you do it, a negative or a positive impact. You can choose whether you say it impacts them positively or negatively. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Until the next video, bye.